So you're thinking about making a move. Should you buy your next house before selling your current house, or should you sell your current house before buying the next house? And that's the question that a lot of move-up sellers and even downsizers, should I buy something or should I sell this one first? I don't know what to do. So in today's video, I'm gonna talk about some pros and cons of each. So best case scenario, if you really have something specific that you're looking for in your next home, if you can afford to do it financially, is to find your next home, go out, put it under contract, and then go put your house on the market to sell. Now, the downside to that is, if you close on the next house you're buying, you may own two homes and you may be making two payments at one time, or you may need the equity from the house that you're selling to go into that house that you're buying. And so there's ways to do that with lenders. We can cross collateralize even if you need that equity to bridge from that house to the next. But you have to be financially willing and able to potentially pay for two houses at the same time. That is if you buy first. And really, whether you choose to take that route depends on the market and the situation that you're in. So you really need to meet with your trusted agent and figure out what are the odds of my house selling quickly, what's realistic on a time frame, what's realistic on a price, what do we really expect to happen. If you have a very unique property, might take a little longer, or if you've got something that is in high demand and very low inventory at the moment, it's probably something that's going to sell quickly. So you can have a little more comfort and assurance in buying first. So that's something that when you sit down with your agent, they'll counsel you through, help you make the wisest decision there. Let's just say you are in a situation that you are scared to death of owning two homes, having two payments. From a financial standpoint, you just don't want to take that risk. So what are your options then? Well, in that situation, you need to sell first before you buy. And I would say don't even start looking until you sell, because what'll happen is you'll start looking, you'll find one that you like, it'll get sold to somebody else because your house hasn't sold yet, and then you're gonna feel stuck and you're gonna say, man, I wish I could have gotten that house. So if buying a house first is completely off the table for you and you need to sell first, I would say focus on that. Get your house on the market, get it positioned to sell. Then once you have a contract, then go out, start looking. And in today's market, because the market is not quite as hot as it used to be, it's still hot, but it's not quite as hot as it was, sellers are a little more open to the idea of a home sale contingency. So if you write an offer on a home that says, hey, it's contingent on mine selling, sellers are a little more open to that conversation today than they were over the last couple of years. And especially if you can say, hey, my house is under contract, it's closing on X date, and I want to close yours at the same time. They're very open to that, or much more open to that conversation. So you can sell and then buy. The problem and the biggest issue that you may come up against is you get your house under contract, you go out and look, there's just not a lot of homes to choose from, you don't see anything that really checks all your boxes, and you feel like, man, we've sold our house, now what are we gonna buy? So that's the biggest downside to selling first, is making sure you can find that house that you wanna buy. So if you're looking for something that's, if you're not looking for something specific and you'd be happy with anything that meets your size requirements and price range, then you may have an easier time doing it that way and finding that house. The alternative is, if you absolutely can't find a house to buy, you're gonna have to have a plan B, which is either moving in with family, doing a short-term rental, doing a year-long lease. You gotta have a plan B to move into something else if you sell your house first, because once you sign a contract to sell it, legally you're obligated to sell it, even if you start to get cold feet or change your mind. If the buyer wants to pursue it, they can legally force you to sell that house once you sign that contract. So that's the two decision paths that you need to make. The third option that's come about more recently is there are some companies out there that will kind of give you a guaranteed price on selling your house. So if you say, hey, I'll go buy it, but I know I don't want to go more than a month or two. If my house doesn't sell, I'd like to try to get more money for it, but you can typically get a floor price. And sometimes we may have clients or investors that will do that, but there are some companies as well that will give you a guaranteed offer, guaranteed floor price on the house that you're going to sell, so that you can go out, buy, find it, put it under contract, and then either sell it on the open market, or worst case scenario, sell it at the floor price that you've already been given. So we can help you do any of those scenarios, and so feel free to reach out if you're thinking about making a move.